Hello everybody and welcome to Lockdown Made Easy with the really cool team. Today we are going to talk about school readiness and more specifically about your kids' ability to write. We meet parents every day who have children in our preschools, and especially now around the month of June they start to get a little bit worried. If my child will succeed in school, will they be able to write when they go to school? They compare, they go, oh, my friend's child is already writing his name or can write few simple words and my daughter isn't. So I would like to explain to you how it works. So stay tuned. Okay, so we all want our children to succeed academically. We all want them to be able to read and write, as we know they're such important skills, and ability to do so will help them in the future. But before we jump straight into writing, this is very important that we practice other skills before we hand a pencil to a toddler. Why is that? Well, it's very similar to learning how to swim. We all understand that if we throw your child head down into a deep pool, it might not be able to go back to the surface because it doesn't have the right muscles and the muscle memory and the right skills to be able to do that. This is very similar with writing. If you start from handing your child a pencil and asking them to copy things, they won't be able to do it. And what can happen is that they can get really discouraged and it can put them off written work and it can put them off schoolwork, and therefore they might have a dislike for school. So we don't want to do that. That's why it's so important to do this process step by step. And I'm going to explain to you how we're going to do that. So before your child goes to primary school, and before they're asked to write and hold the pencil properly, we need to make sure, and we as preschool providers, this is our job as well, to make sure that your child is able to perform certain tasks and that his fine motor skills are developed correctly. So how do we do that? And what are the fine motor skills? So fine motor skills are the ability to manipulate small objects, make movements using small muscles of our hand. This is something that we do automatically as adults. So we're able to button a shirt, we're able to use tweezers, we're able to stick things into small spaces. But a child, a toddler age child, is not able to do it yet, and they need to develop those muscles. So when we talk about fine motor skills, we talk about muscles here in the fingers, ability to manipulate small objects, the wrist muscle, the wrist control, and here muscles, and the muscles of the hand here. Okay, so all that. So you know, when you hold a pencil, there is a lot of work involved. You see, the position of the wrist is important, the position of the fingers, and the muscles that control the pencil. Some children are able to do it earlier, some later, but the good news is that we can help them to develop those skills at home and in preschool. So if we provide them with opportunities to work on those muscles without even knowing that they're doing work, it's better to let them work on those muscles for the period of like few years before they go to school than skip the learning part and then hand them a pencil. We observe very often that kids go to school and the fine motor skills are not developed, and therefore they struggle with the handwriting and they just turned off from working and doing schoolwork completely. So let's have a look. What can we do to help our children to develop those fine motor skills? There are plenty of equipment out there that you can buy, but you don't have to. And this is the beauty of it, that there's so many things that you can do at home and your child will feel that they're playing and they're having fun. So every child's personal favorite, PlayDoh, okay? If you look at this motion that I'm doing here, do you see what is happening with my hand when I do this? It's like the hand is going to a gym, and this is exactly what's happening. So this is just a homemade Play-Doh. If you let your child play with Play-Doh a few times a week, you know that they're not only having fun, but they're also working on those muscles. So you can think, aha, she's not just playing, she's actually getting ready for school. And that sounds so much better, doesn't it? So, homemade Play-Doh, you can have a store-bought Play-Doh, of course, as well. If you don't know how to make Play-Doh, we had an episode few Fridays back when Martina was showing all different gloops and doughs and Play-Dohs and how to make them at home. So you might want to watch it if you want. But it's just some flour and water, and then you let them squeeze it. Of course, you give them the rollers as well and the little forms so they can cut out shapes. And if they do anything like this, all this action, all those movements help your child with the wrist control and the hand muscles here. Okay, so this is our first activity, Play-Doh. Another thing that's very handy, and probably you have it at home, this is the turkey booster. And what we do with this, we get 2 bowls of water, and I'm going to direct the camera on the bowls now so you can see me better. Yeah, okay. And you can add some food coloring to make it more interesting. And then you put it inside of one bowl, and you ask your child to squeeze, let go, and then put it to the other bowl and squeeze to release the water and let go. If your child repeats this activity, you can see here how the hand is working. So again, in here, we are working on those muscles in the hand. Those are very important muscles, and it will help your child in their writing skills later on. This activity is loved by all the children because they can get to mess with water, look like they're doing something super important because they don't look like toys. They are your home bowls or plate from your kitchen, so they're attractive. You know, something that's not a toy, it's usually very attractive, and you can have a few little bowls like that and let them play with that. So this should be in every home as well. This is a very, very good activity. So those are activity number 2. And then activity number 3, it's very similar than this one. You just need a little sponge. And this activity is loved by the kids as well. And this is called transferring water with a sponge. So you just put it in the bowl and make sure it soaks up the water. And then when the water is here in the sponge, you transfer it to another bowl and let them squeeze it out and release, and back to the first bowl again and squeeze it out and release. And this way they have to transfer again the water from one bowl to another, and this movement is again like with the Play-Doh and the other activity, is very good for the muscles of the hand. They're strengthening the muscles. So all the activities we did today is like a workout for your child's hand. And with this activity in particular is very good because it has a calming, nearly a therapeutic effect, because kids just love playing with water and it can calm them down. So if you have just a sponge and and 2 bowls of water, ask them to do that. If you alternate those activities and you keep going for a couple of weeks, it's like you have a regular workout, and you know that you're on the right way to help your child to succeed academically in the future. Isn't that fantastic? So that's it for today. So today we learned about those muscles, and in the next episode we're going to show you how to practice the fingers and the fine motor skills that are in our fingers. We have loads of good activities for you as well. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. And also, I would like to tell you that we have our blog every week showing up on our website, which is www.reallycool.ie. And I would love to invite you for our webinar that's happening on the 2nd of June. That's London time at 6 p.m. And we will be talking about how to talk to your children and how to gain control of your house again, how to be heard. So we're going to give you one secret on how to talk to your toddler to survive at home with a toddler. Thank you for watching and see you next week. Bye!